The parties involved in Tasmania's forest peace talks insist they're progressing, but two issues have cast shadows on negotiations. The federal government's investigating whether contractors falsely obtained grants under its assistance package, and there's renewed anger over protests in the southern forests.
There might be agreement on a statement of peace principles, but that hasn't ended the tension in the forests. Two members of the Huon Valley Environment Centre were arrested in the Picton Valley this afternoon. They're angry that logging is continuing in areas they consider to be of high conservation value. Contractors are frustrated at being thwarted while the industry negotiates with other environment groups. The chair of the Forestry Roundtable talks, former ACTU boss Bill Kelty, says they're still to reach agreement on a moratorium for the high-value forests.
We've had some good talks so far. There's some differences that need to be resolved, but we're pretty confident that there is a potential there.
The parties are due to meet next week to thrash out the boundaries of the high conservation areas. In the meantime, the Federal Forestry Minister, Joe Ludwig, has confirmed a fraud team from his department is investigating Tasmanian forest contractors.
I think this is an appropriate step to ensure that government funds, be they state or federal, be expended appropriately.
From the federal government's $17 million package, 30 contractors won grants of up to $750,000 to exit native logging. But there's concerns some are still operating in the industry.
I think if any allegations are found to be true, then it is very disappointing.
The description of this as being pinkbats with bark, following on from the disaster of the pinkbat scheme and the school hall rorts.
The Tasmanian opposition says the fraud investigation has cast doubt on the government's ability to help the entire industry transition out of native logging should a peace agreement be reached.
If the government can't properly administer a $17 million buyout for forest contractors, how on earth could they be expected to administer the $1 billion worth of restructuring that's expected for the sector?
This was a political promise made by Labor and Liberal before the last election that had no strategy associated with it.
Those at the roundtable insist the negotiations are progressing. They now plan to bring Guns, Forestry Tasmania and others to the table, but admit that time is running out for many contractors. Jackie Street, ABC News.